Hello, everybody. We are live. This is PYP Boxing. Mark Salinas here. With us, as always, is David De Leon. How you doing, David?
What's going on, man? Just ready to get down. Talk to
Listen,
our boy Mile High.
yeah, listen, David. I met this guy Mile High. I'm about to send him the invite right now, so he can join us, and we can get talking about this weekend's fights, and we'll get to know him a little bit better, and we'll talk about his fight upcoming on November the 28th against boxer from Paradigm Media News. So give me a second. Let me send them this
Shit, it's
invite.
all good, man. Shit, this is just we got one person viewing right now. Shit, so ain't no rush to get it all in.
Hey, we have a fan out there, man. All right.
Or somebody just really, really bored.
Nah, man,
Comment, check it out. Check it
it's
out.
probably the
Comments in
homie.
the house. Mile High's in the house, bro. He already said he's here.
Okay. Hold on. Tell him we're sending that right over.
Sending the link to you, bro.
Just emailed it. So he'll get it in a minute and join us.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. How you doing, man? It's been a minute since we've been on with each other, dude.
Good, man. Let me give you an update. So I'm calling a fight on November the 28th. November the 28th. We're calling a fight
With
live.
the content creators of boxing, right?
Yeah, content creator series of fighting. And we have Mile High coming in. I got to meet him a couple of weeks ago on a live press conference we had, and things got a little bit heated. Um, they had another one this Friday, and things got even more heated between them. So, but Mile High's a big boxing fan, and he's gonna be joining us here. Um, and let me just go ahead and send him a text, let him know that we just sent that over. He's gonna break down the Keyshawn Davis, the Bam Rodrigeuz, and the Boots Ennis fight for us.
Oh, we got some stuff to talk about. Boots, man. Me and you were kind of going back and forth about that over the
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah,
I'm glad you came around, though, Mark. I'm glad you came. You saw the light.
yeah.
You were sounding a little haterish about our boy Karen. I gotta find out how to say that guy's name. I just call him Karen, but it's Karen Chikadjian. Chikadjian?
Let me make sure
Chikadjian.
that I sent that correctly. I'm gonna give him a quick phone call here.
Bro, if there's anything that Karen, dude, those dudes from the Ukraine, man, are
Oh, you
built
got it?
different.
Okay, good. I was just making sure that I got the email correctly, but you got it? Okay, brother.
We don't need to hear all that. Yeah, man, the guys from the Ukraine, they are built different, bro. Mark
Yeah.
likes to talk a little bit about those Eastern European fighters and act like they're not bringing anything to the table, but that dude, man, every guy from the Ukraine that we've seen, just about all of them, they're real fighters. Way.
He's a pro. Like, I was talking to Mile High about it. I was saying, man, that guy did a lot of dirty stuff, but and we talked a little more. He said he did a lot of veteran stuff. The
Yeah, so
holding.
I wanted that. Okay, so what I was gonna say, I was gonna use that against you if you were gonna bring that up, because I'm always ready to debate, and you love Bernard Hopkins. You love you some Bernard Hopkins,
Heck
and
yeah,
if there's
man.
anything Bernard Hopkins did where those were veteran moves, somebody else does the same things that Hopkins does. He's a dirty fighter. So you even named your dog after Bernard, man. That's how much you like Bernard. So I
Yeah.
was gonna say, like, chill out on the cheating and the dirty tactics, because you like that shit when it comes from Bernard. You gotta like it when it comes from everybody else too, man.
Hey, listen, while we're waiting for Mile High here, um, what do you think about 40 years old man never ever fighting in your life and then getting an opportunity and just doing it? Would you do something like that at 40 years old?
I
I
mean,
mean, you love
man,
boxing.
the
You love
closest. Okay,
boxing.
yeah, I mean, the closest I have ever done was sparring, man. That was it, and it got pretty heated in some of the sparring sessions I've done. But if this, I don't know if he's been. I know he's been training and taking this very seriously. Just looking at his IG and the stuff that he's posting, he's taking this very seriously. And if he's done any sparring, that's gonna help, man. I remember being nervous about, like, I've been in I've been in street fights before, man. So being in a fight with people wasn't a big thing, but sparring was different way. It was weird. It was just different. It was a new realm for me. And once I got in there, I felt more comfortable.
Here he is, man.
Hi, what's up, man? We got the man of the hours here. What's going on, my man?
How you gentlemen doing, man? Pleasure to be with you. Thank you for having me on. I shared it on my platform, so I appreciate you guys for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, man, and giving us some of your time as well. Yeah, Mark, you ready to jump in?
Yeah. Hey, listen, Hustle, really appreciate you, man. You're a huge platform. We're brand new to YouTube. So thank you so much for doing this, man. It's rare that a big platform like yourself joins us. We've had Mike on here as well, but you're definitely one of the biggest platforms. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate that.
No, I shared it with my audience. I posted it, so my audience should come in here hopefully. And I appreciate you guys, man. I just love to chop it up about boxing. I found a love for this sport, man. Just these last 6 months, it's been beautiful, man. I've really embraced this whole grind. I'm ready to fight. I'm not taking no easy road. We're gonna keep going, man.
Yeah, well, tonight you're with us, man. You're on PYP Boxing. We don't box, but we love to talk about it.
Okay, man. I love to talk about it too. I have a mind for it. I'm an enthusiast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of I've never had a real fight, pro fight. I did a little MMA. My coach, he couldn't believe when he seen me jab and stuff I did. He was like, I don't know where you learned how to do this stuff. I guess I can mimic some stuff, you know what I mean? And was pretty decent at it. And we cleaned up a lot of my game, man. But I got a newfound love for this sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shit. Well, let's get right into it, man. Listen, I semi got to know you. We're talking about your upcoming November 28th matchup. But David, my partner, didn't get to know you. So first off, I'm going to let David get to know you a little bit, and he's going to fire away some questions about this weekend's fights. I know you followed them. So let's get right into it. Then after that, I'm going to ask you some questions about you, how you got started on YouTube, your personal life, things like that. I've seen some of your stuff on your channel. So I'll take it after Dave. Go ahead, Dave.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. So Hustle, there were a couple of cards this past weekend. There was a top ranked card on ESPN, and then there were some fights on the Zone. We'll talk about the top ranked card first, man. We had Keyshawn Davis fighting against Lemos, tough fighter out of Argentina, man. Guy had never been stopped before. Didn't even make the 135-pound weight limit. He came in at a comfortable weight, I'm assuming, for him. Yeah, and that's a big thing. And Keyshawn blasted him out pretty easily, man. What did you think on of that fight?
Keyshawn could have pulled out of the fight, man. Dude didn't take it serious. I don't know. See, here's the problem with boxing now, brother. It's we're in the era of what Floyd Mayweather, all these games to keep that you know what I mean? And I feel like some fighters don't take it real serious. They're more worried about their legacy instead of just fighting for that and just letting the chips fall where they may. We come from an era where everybody fought everybody, bro. So when he came in 6 pounds overweight, Keyshawn could have pulled out of the fight. But here's the thing: you pull out, you don't get paid. Your corner don't get paid. Your coach don't get paid. Promoter don't get paid. There's a lot of money up front, man. So he had a big decision to make, and he stuck to his guns. He was very confident in what his training. He looked good in training. He looked really good, and he stopped him, man. And that was. Dude could have been a full blown welterweight by the time he walked in that room, and he made light work of him. So, I mean, the sky's the limit for him. You know what I mean? And he called out Tank. Problem with Tank is, man, I don't. Tank is one of those fighters. He's a protege of Mayweather, and Mayweather's whole thing is catching somebody right at the right time. Rehydration clauses, all this stuff that just
always having
takes
an
away from
advantage.
the game. Yes.
Right.
Takes away from the game, man. And it's if you're really the best, bro, put it on the line and prove it. You know, and this young man got out there and he could have made a big deal about, oh no, I'm not, you know what I mean? And he showed that corazon, that old school corazon, and went in there and still handled business, bro. So I like that fighter. I love the way he went in there and still took care of business, and he made light work of dude, man. Obviously, dude didn't take it serious, and you don't disrespect boxing, man. When you disrespect boxing, it'll disrespect you right back. You know what I mean? And it's not a game. We don't play boxing. You box or you don't, man.
So
So
do you think you mentioned about Keyshawn calling out Tank? Do you think that is something that could be on the horizon? I mean, Tank's already kind of an established guy. Keyshawn, even though he made a big splash, he's still pretty young in the game, right? He's going to
yeah,
need to get at least a title before he would face Tank, right?
I think he needs about a year or two for that fight. But I think he's definitely a up and comer. He's definitely I guarantee Tank's paying attention. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I think Tank is great. Don't get me wrong. Tank's a good fighter, man. Tank is a good fighter. What I don't like about him is all the stuff that he puts into with making fights. You know what I mean? It's the same thing Floyd used to do with Pacquiao and all that stuff. Floyd wouldn't fight those dudes. He fought them at the right moment. It was just Floyd was smart and picked where he wanted to fight these guys at and when he wanted to fight them.
Right. He was very strategic about his opponents.
Yeah.
No, I guarantee. I mean, I actually agree with you about that with Tank, man. He's 30 years old. He still really hasn't fought another pound for pound fighter. It's just kind of a waste, man, because I too think Tank is special, dude. I think he's got skills. He's got that power. He likes to go in there and throw chingazos. He can be in a lot of exciting fights, but they're trying to take the safe road. Hustle, let's move on to the zone card, man. Me and Mark, we're from Texas. I live in New York right now, but we're big fans of the Bam Rodrigeuz, and he's coming out of San Antonio. We think he's one of the best fighters out there, and he took care of business himself. He fought Pedro Guevara, who's 42-4. And he knocked him out in the third round, or stopped him rather. What did you think of Bam's performance?
It was amazing. He controlled the whole fight from start to finish. That dude from the ring, he had control of the ring generalship. Dude couldn't do anything. I watched him just dismantle him in 3 rounds. I was like, wow, they're talking, Chocolatito, I think that's a great fight. I think he's primed to take Chocolatito, and they're talking about, I don't know the guy's name, is it the Chinese fighter, Japanese?
Inoue.
Yeah, and I think that's a couple years away, man, because that kid's badass, bro. But he's definitely right there. He's knocking on the door, and I think in the next 2 years we're gonna see a real amazing fighter, man. He's definitely. I like the camp he comes out of. Robert Garcia has a lot of top-notch young fighters coming up, man. He's got some badass fighters coming up, bro, and that's that they have they're a legacy of their dad. Their dad built that. You know what I mean? All the way from when they had our RGB up in Oxnard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they had the likes of Brandon Rios and yeah. So these guys are they're he's got some top notch fighters. That kid is amazing, bro. He's been on the radar for a while, and he dismantled that dude. I was really amazed with what he did with him.
Yeah, man, Bam is a special talent, bro, and you're absolutely right. He showed everything in the ring in there. I'm Mark thinks he should go for Inoue, but there's another Japanese fighter. Have you heard of Junto Nakatani?
Yes.
You know that one?
Yes. Yeah.
He's the real tall, the real tall vato with
tall, rangy, lanky. Yeah.
Yes. That guy's a little closer to Bam. Mark thinks that Bam should fight him, right, Mark? You think that would be a match before he gets
right now? Either one of them, man. I think
either one of them would be good.
I think all of those guys right now are at their peak now. Bam, Nakatani, Inoue. Why not have them all fight right now? Because 2 years, you never know. We need them all now. Like I want to
put him in there, bro.
Bam. Yeah, but who do you want him to have first? I mean, I think that's the
I
question.
think Chocolatito's the right fight. I think Chocolatito's the right fight. Let him go get that legend out of the way. Add that name to his resume, and then I think he's ready for those other two guys in the next year. Matter of fact, next year, end of next year, he should be ready for either one of those guys. I see a good fight, a real good fight.
Who's more
Yeah,
dangerous between
there
the
were
both of those guys?
stories when Bam was getting ready for Gallo. Chocolatito was sparring with Bam over at Robert's gym. And they said that those sparring sessions were real. They were very competitive, man. And Chocolatito was going around saying afterwards he felt like he got the better of Bam in those sessions. So that could be something to look forward to. I bet
It's a
that
good
will be a
fight.
good fight. Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
great
yeah.
fight. But I think
Um,
Chocolatito's at the end of his career. I think Bam is Bam. I think Bam handles him. I think Bam handles him pretty convincingly.
Yeah, I see it the same way too. I kind of I feel like Chocolatito's already past his best, but if there's any good thing that'll come out of it, he'll get a good payday. Which one of our camaradas on a chat was saying, hey, Chocolatito gets the payday, Bam gets a name on his resume. It works out for everybody. But you never know, man. Every fighter has one last good fight in them, so
Absolutely,
that's why they fight the fights, right?
absolutely.
There was one more fight on there. The main event, Boots Ennis fought against. I call him Karen because I can't say his last name right. Chuka Hajian, I think that was his last name. We call him Karen. A guy from Ukraine put up a better fight than a lot of people expected. Man, how did you see that fight?
He was a
So
dirty
Boots had
Karen.
fought him before. If we remember Boots
Yeah, it was
fought
a
him before.
rematch.
This is the second time Boots has fought him, and Boots made him look bad last time. This time, man, I seen Boots getting caught with a lot of hooks. Boots' his defense was very suspect. That's the second fight in a row where his defense is suspect. So, I like Boots. Don't get me wrong. He's a great offensive fighter. I watch his defense, though. I think his defense is a little suspect, man. And he's calling out the likes of Crawford, and I'm like, bro, you ain't ready for that, bro. Crawford will make you look bad, bro. Crawford gets a bad name, bro. But the last guy he fought, they tried to make it sound like, oh, he beat him, and I get it. Eddie Hearn, that's Eddie Hearn's fighter. He's a DAZN fighter. I get it. Eddie Hearn pushing him. Um, he didn't beat. That was a very strategic fight. Now a lot of people don't know that young man has over like 200 fights in the amateurs, bro. We're seeing a lot of these UK and European fighters come over here, bro, and they got tons of amateur experience. These boys are actually very good, bro. They it's hard to work with, and that kid was a great counter puncher. Like I didn't believe he threw enough punches to beat Bud. I thought Bud controlled that fight, but I think Boots has a long way to go. His resume. He needs to start building his resume more, and he has a ways to go before he steps in the ring. I don't think him and Bud ever happen. He doesn't have anything to offer Bud, whether it be title wise. Bud's looking now. Now this is the thing about legacy. I think Bud is right for going for his legacy because he's already two time. He's already two-time undisputed champion in two different weight classes. He's going, and he wants to fight. He wants to fight. He wants to fight Canelo. No, do I think that's the smartest fight for him? No, but I get it. That's the right way to chase legacy. He wants something that nobody else has ever gotten. His name's already cemented. But I was a little disappointed in the Boots fight. I thought that kid put up a very good fight. I had him winning 5 rounds. I had him winning at least 5 rounds in that fight. And I seen him hurt Boots a couple times. I see Boots' legs get a little shaky a couple times.
Yeah, I saw that too. And he kept getting hit with the left hand, whether it was the jab or the hook. Boots he couldn't get away from that. And he wasn't able to make enough adjustments in there, which would surprise me. He did make an adjustment in trying to fight close and smother Karen, but because in the mid range he was getting killed, man. But I was very impressed with how Karen was fighting.
Yes, especially fighting him the second time and already being beat by him. You know what I mean? And coming back in there with a stronger opponent. Because let's be honest, Boots was way bigger than him when they got in that ring. He was at least 20 pounds heavier than him. And Boots, don't get me wrong, Boots did his adjustments and was working inside and caused Karen to hold a little bit more.
Yeah.
And he got a point taken from him for holding. He had to fight the way he had to fight, man. You're gonna either, get mauled You know what I mean? Just make a fight of it. And he that kid had a dog. That Karen he's a dog, man. He was a
He's a
dog.
dog.
He showed up.
Exactly. No, it was very surprising, man. A lot of people didn't expect that. Well, in the first fight, he fought. He stayed away from Boots. He kept his distance.
Yeah.
He moved around a lot. He moved around too much. But you could tell the guy had skills. You could tell he had skills. Man, oh, that's great. It was a good night of fights. If you could pick a fighter of the night, because there were some other guys on the undercards, Abdullah Mason as well. If you could pick a fighter who had the best performance that weekend, who do you think it would be?
Between Keyshawn and Bam, I got to give both those guys.
Right.
I got to give it between Keyshawn and Bam. Those were top notch opponents. They fought. They're young up and comers. Man, I think boxing is in a good place right now, bro. We're starting to see a lot of the fights that we want to see, and I get upset when people say, I get upset when people say Canelo earned the right to not fight who they want to fight, and I'm like, bro, you're the reason we don't get the fights we want to see. You're the reason why, bro.
I'm one of those
A fan
guys.
like you, a fan like you is the reason we don't get to see those fights because you make excuses. And I'm sorry, I need Canelo. I love Canelo. I think he's a great fighter, but he needs to. Hey, bro, if you don't want to fight David Benavidez, give up your titles, bro. Give up. The WBC should have already took them, but they won't because of money. And it's sad, bro. To me, it's sad. I like that the Sheik's coming in and starting to get these promoters to come together and say, you know what? There's enough money for everybody. We can make this work. Let's do this. And there's no reason why the UFC should be dominating boxing. There's no reason why. I mean, this is. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big MMA fan, but I haven't been watching MMA. I know John Jones fights next week. I really don't care, dude. I've been tuned into boxing. I'll be honest with you. I don't care about John Jones. He's on his way out. To me, it's like I've been there, done it, seen him fight a million times. I don't really care. Boxing is in a good place right now. I like that the promoters are starting. I don't like where you're on the other side of the street and that's why we ain't fighting you. Like come on, man. When everybody was saying that and everyone was saying that Bud couldn't beat Spence. I was like, man, I beg to differ. I go, bro, I've watched Bud since he was young, and I said, Spence is good. I go, but when I look at Bud, I see greatness. I go, I'm sorry, I see it. And when he dismantled him in that fight, I told my son, I go, watch, he's gonna beat his. Watch this fight, bro. And I think he would have did the same to the Charlo. I think he would have did the same to Charlo. I think Charlo didn't want none of that smoke. We all know the Charlo brothers. From what we hear, when they do work with, we know that Spence. We've heard that Spence gives them that work when they would spar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, that's true. They said that he knocked down Jermell. Like he beat him up pretty bad in one of their sparring sessions. I think they don't spar anymore because of that.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I didn't expect the Bud and Spence fight to be that one-sided.
Yeah.
I thought Bud had.
We got to remember Spence did have the car accident. That car accident played a part. I think it did, and it's sad, bro. It's sad that Bud ain't gonna get his full recognition because of that. Because I even told everybody, I said, once he beats him, I'm gonna hear all your fans talk about, oh well, Ferrari rolled over his head. Okay, it did. You're right, it did. But he should have fought him way before. That fight should have happened 2 years before that, at least. This is a fight that should have happened 2 years, and a lot of that's Bob Arum's fault. Bob Arum did a horrible job with Bud's career. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Al Heyman too, man. You got to put PBC on that as well.
No. Al Heyman, yeah, he's a trickster, bro. That whole thing where they tried to corner the market of boxing, I didn't like that. You actually hurt boxing, bro. You hurt boxing, and you know what I mean. You hurt boxing by doing that, bro. And it's sad, dude. There's too many promoters out there. There's too many governing bodies. We need to simplify this, and I think that's what that Sheik's doing. He's coming in and saying there's enough money for all of us to make. We can all eat. We don't have to be greedy.
Yeah.
He's trying to it feels like he's trying to create one super league.
Yes.
And streamline everything into this one.
Well, Eddie Hearn, man. He's a good man.
Hearn works with everybody, man.
No, I like Eddie Hearn, man. I like him. I go, a lot of people gets a bad name, but I like him. I know my promoter and my coach works with him. I know they have a good relationship. I dig him, bro. I think he's good for boxing. There's some good fighters, bro. There's good fighters. We got some great fights on the horizon. I think Boots needs to fight Robert's other kid. What's his name? Golden Boys.
Virgil.
Virgil Ortiz. He needs to
Yeah,
fight.
man.
I think him and Virgil, bro, that's a fight. They both had Virgil's last outing didn't look so good. That was a suspect win, bro. Virgil could have lost that fight. I don't think Virgil won that as convincingly. Virgil could have very well lost that fight, and he won. But like I said, I think that's a good fight.
Boachuk is a beast. Boachuk, the guy that Virgil fought.
No, and see, we're talking about another.
Yeah,
we're talking about another European fighter that's very good
from the Ukraine.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So no, I guarantee, I agree too that was a shaky performance by Virgil. But I think we also saw, like, remember that dude only fought like what 2 rounds in 2 years or something like that. So you know, and he fought against a monster, one of the best fighters at 154 pounds.
For sure.
You know,
Virgil showed a lot of dog in him. Virgil showed that dog in him to bite down and really get that win. He like I said, I'm not going to say he didn't win, but I'm going to say Virgil definitely showed his fortitude in that fight.
It could have gone either way.
Let me ask you two guys a question. Do you guys think Boots is? I mean, I know you say Virgil, right? But it's going to have to be at 154.
Yeah.
Besides Virgil, I mean, Boachuk and those guys, is Boots ready for Crawford and those guys at 154?
They're bigger up there, man.
But he's ready for Virgil.
I don't think he's ready for Virgil. The way I saw him getting hit by Karen,
yeah.
If Virgil was landing those shots on him, I don't think it's
a short night.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah, Virgil catches him with that hook. It's a short night for him for sure.
Hey, do you guys think that Boots showed some chin? I've never seen Boots get hit that hard. He got hit pretty hard this weekend, and he's got a pretty good chin.
Well, Karen's not known for power, right? He wasn't exactly a KO puncher.
Really? Well, he was taking him. I mean, he got hit more than usual.
No. He got hit with a lot of them. It wasn't just one hook. He got hit with multiple left hands.
And he would just look at the crowd and say, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of times where he looked like his leg, he got shook up a little bit.
What do you guys think about the chaos in his corner? Like, nobody's in sync.
Yeah, well, that's the panic, right? When things aren't going your way, and the coaches, I really, really think that whole team underestimated Karen. They underestimated him
because they beat him before. Because they made easy work of him before. They thought they were like, we're going to roll over him like we did last time. We're in our hometown. I think here's the thing. I think Boots had all the pressure. Boots had all the pressure. He had already beat this guy. He's in front of his home crowd. So Boots had a lot of pressure, man, and he's still learning. This kid's still learning. We want to give him, we want to crown him already the king. You know what I mean? Already, because we see a lot of we see some glimmer of some greatness there. But I think fans don't look at the resume and see who he's fought and be like, okay, yeah, he's looked good, but these ain't these ain't the upper echelons of the boxing world. That they're just not. And yeah, he's made short work of him. And yeah, he's a beast, but he's really got to start fighting that upper echelons, man. And there's some dogs in that. He's still got to clean out that division. And Bud already did that. He needs to clean out that division. Now I get it. He says it's always yes for me and Bud. Bud's already moved up, bro. Bud already captured. He's already on his way to another. You know what I mean? To trying to collect more belts. And I think Bud's at the end of his career. I think Bud, maybe if he don't get this Canelo fight, he very well might be his last fight. He might not fight again.
Yeah,
if he doesn't get the Canelo fight, he might be out the door and say, you know what, I've already did everything I want to do. Nobody else has done what I've done. And my place in boxing history is cemented. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, a question for both of you. And I've gone, and me and you touched on this, Hustle, and me and you have David as well. Do you guys think that it was more that Boots wasn't like, is it Boots looking bad, or was it more the Ukrainian like using kind of dirty tactics or veteran tactics, like the holding and the putting his head in Boots's chin and elbows and little? Was it more of that, or was it more that Boots just couldn't handle those veteran tactics? Go ahead, David. You go first.
I don't. Okay, so one, I don't think he fought as dirty as you're saying. Like, were there some rough housing? And yeah, did he put his head in his
Tough
face?
holding.
Yeah. But he didn't do it. I mean, he did it excessively in a couple rounds, but overall, man, I saw more punches landed. Like, this guy was landing more cleaner shots on Boots than I was seeing Boots land on him. And that's just what it was. That's what I was seeing in the moment. And then my stream with the zone was kind of messed up. There were a couple of rounds where I lost about 45 seconds in each round, waiting for it to come back on. So, but that could affect the scoring for some of those rounds. But overall, man, I thought that dude was doing a great job at mid-range, slipping shots, blocking. He was blocking punches. He was catching them on his elbows and his forearms, and he was landing a lot of clean shots on Boots, man. So I think it had more to do with Karen, more so than like saying like dirty tactics. I think Karen's boxing skills were a lot better than Boots expected, and Boots didn't have an answer for it.
Yeah, go ahead, Hustle. Answer that one. And we got a question.
Karen didn't start doing that until Boots really started to muscle him around the ring, bro. And Boots changed his tactics and stopped and realized, hey, bro, I'm not outboxing this dude. I'm going to have to bully him around the ring a little bit. So once he got in close and he made it a pretty much a dog fight, that's when Karen, and he was the smaller fighter. So when something like dude, I was just in the ring with the 6'1", 350-pound man, bro, and believe me, bro, I had no choice but to fight on the inside, bro. We have a small ring. We box in a phone booth at my gym. That boy was big, and he put me against the ropes. Like, I can only do what he gives me. He is very strong. I'm 250. That dude outweighed me by 100 pounds, and he's a pro, bro. He's a pro with He's 4-0 with 4 knockouts. He's a beast, bro. His name. That's my boy Chewy. I got some work with him tonight. We got 3 rounds in. We're gonna get about 4 tomorrow. Yeah, bro. When you're in there, like I said, when you're in there and it's a dogfight, bro, you got to do what you got to do, bro. I literally had to lean one way just and then make him lean that way so I can get out the other way, or even grab, when he wanted me to keep me somewhere, he was gonna keep me there. That's just what it is. You got to stay calm and if I had to put my head in his chin, that's what it is. You know what I mean? And start digging to the body. You got to do what you got. You got to take what your opponent's gonna give you, man.
Yeah.
I think the ref was a little too much by taking that point from him. I didn't like that. I didn't think that would I didn't think the holding I didn't think he should have had a point taken. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't believe that. I was like, okay. I see fighters get away with it. I see certain fighters get away with stuff that other fighters don't. And I'm like, why is it okay for one fighter to do it?
I would have been okay with just some multiple warnings because it didn't really impede the fight. Like,
no, there was still a lot of action. I mean, it wasn't stopping the action.
Yeah.
By no means.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks, guys. Let's answer this question right here. What do you guys think about Tyson and Paul? We'll answer that question for Bigfoot here, and then we'll get into some questions to the Hustle team. David, you first. What do you think about Paul Tyson, man?
I got mixed feelings, man. Can we like hide it so we don't we're covering my space?
Yeah, there we go. All right.
I got mixed feelings about it, man, because one, I think it's great that it's on Netflix. You don't have to pay for it. 200-something million people have Netflix. So, there can be a lot of eyes brought to it, and that's always good for the sport, right? There's a good women's fight on the undercard as well. But then the side that I'm questioning is Mike's 58 years old, man. And then you have this guy, Jake Paul, who, I kind of respect on certain levels. He's a guy who came in late to boxing. He acquired a love for it the more that he was doing it. It may have started off as a joke at first, but now he's taking it pretty serious, and he wants to make a career out of it. But, he's 27? He's a big guy. He's pretty strong. He's an athlete. He was a former wrestler. So, he's not just some scrub coming off the street. And I hate seeing the great legends of the sport stay around too long, and getting in the ring. I would hate for this guy, Jake Paul, to actually land a shot on Tyson and hurt him. And that would just kind of diminish and shatter the aura of Tyson. But we all know he's old, man. That's the main thing I have about it is it's an old guy against a young guy. But Tyson is kind of an extraordinary old man. He still looks as strong as a bull. You know, he could land a shot, and I don't know. There's some intrigue there, but I don't really care for it too much, man.
Hustle team.
I got mixed feelings, just like David. I got a lot of mixed feelings about it. He's 58 years old. I'm a big Tyson fan, man. He came up in my era. I was a young boy when I watched him knock out Spinks. When he knocked out everybody, bro. Tony Tucker, Tubbs,
Razor Ruddock.
Jeez, bro. He walked through the heavyweight
Razor Ruddock
division. He was
bad,
a monster. I would have hated to see it if Kevin Rooney would have stayed his trainer and he would have kept that work ethic. We know his career started to diminish with all the problems. He had people around him that didn't really care for him. He got to the point where he brought trainers in and he wasn't training like he should have been. I mean, I see a 58-year-old man, but I see a man who has a lot of muscle memory. I see him putting in a lot of work. One thing he knows how to do. And okay, so I'm 49, boxer's 55. We old, man. Let's be honest. The body gets old. No one beats Father Time. But when I see somebody put in that kind of work and he still moves a certain way, we still see the power, man. We still see the head movement. We still see he can do a lot of those things at a pretty good level, man. Maybe not the highest level, but I think he's got enough he could hurt Paul too. And Jake Paul, man, a lot of people don't like Jake. You know what, man? I like Jake. I take my hat off to that young man. The only thing I have to criticize that young man is the gimmick fights. Stop with these gimmick fights. If you really want to be a real boxer, bro, start fighting real fighters, my boy. You're pretty good, man. I watch him. He's become a very decent boxer. I've seen him grow, and we know this game is not easy. It is. I have all the respect for guys who get in there and work hard. I've seen that young man get way better. Does he have enough for Mike? I don't. A 58-year-old Mike? I don't know, man. I think it's more of a gimmick fight. Like with Roy and Mike. When we seen Roy and Mike, I see Mike not wanting to hit Roy in the head. I see Mike tee off on his body. I see Mike go to work on that body. Them body shots were hard. So I don't know what's going to happen in this fight. I'm intrigued. I will watch it. I do worry about Mike. I worry about his legacy. His legacy is cemented, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to see him lose to Jake Paul. I just wouldn't like to see. I wouldn't want to see him get knocked out by Jake Paul. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't cheer for that. I would be like, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
But he chooses to get in the ring. He's still a savage. He still has that dog in him. And he's Mike Tyson at the end of the day, man. So I'm going to be rooting for him. Man, I hope everyone just comes out okay in the fight, man. I really do.
Yeah. And as for me, man, let me tell you guys something. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano is going to be a fucking badass fight. Y'all watch that shit. If y'all want to see some real technical skilled fighters, you watch those two chicks. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano is going to be a war, man. I'm excited for that one. You know, the Jake Paul, Tyson, I'm excited to get to see all the celebrities. You know, I don't think Jake is going to seriously try to injure old man. And I believe they've probably talked about it behind the scenes. Hey, don't hurt Mike. You know, like maybe not Mike, but maybe Mike's handlers have said, hey, Jake, take it easy here. But guys, don't miss that fight. I mean, don't get it twisted. There's a real fight. There's a real fight. Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor is going to be a badass fight. It's a rematch. The first one was good. And these
chicks, throw down, man.
They fight better than dudes, man, because chicks have better technical skills. They're fun to watch. They're so like watching flyweights. They're fucking awesome. I love it. So y'all watch it. And next up, let's get to know Mile High, man. Mile High, thank you once again for joining us. Listen, man, I wanted to ask you a few questions here. It's when did you start liking boxing? I gave you my top 10. My top 10 was kind of like chronological order. You know, when I was a kid, I started watching boxing first with Boom Boom Mancini. And then, you know, you go on to your Chavez's, and he became a favorite. But my first two favorites were like Boom Boom Mancini, Hagler, back to back. It was around the same time. We barely had gotten cable at that time. so I could watch the fights on HBO.
Black
Shit, as time went on, Holyfield and our PYP's favorite, Oscar de la Hoya, the best ever, our favorite guy, and on and on. It went chronologically for me. So my top 10 was like that for me as I grew up. But what's your top 10 and in any order, your personal? It doesn't have to be the best that Mile High's top 10.
Man, I gotta say first and foremost, Johnny Tapia, rest in peace. I love Johnny Tapia.
He was in
Shoot, Aaron Pryor.
Yeah, that's mine.
Salvador Sanchez.
There you go.
Chavez, Oscar De La Hoya, Mike Tyson's in there. James Toney, Bernard Hopkins, Marvin Hagler. Ooh, man.
Shit, man, we got a lot of fighters in common, bro.
I liked the Motor City Cobra, man. Motor City Cobra was a beast. Tommy Hearns was an animal, boy. I have to go with the Panamanian, bro. He was one of my favorite fighters too.
Roberto Duran.
Why is his name slipping my head? Fought in that same era. He got knocked out by Thomas Hearns.
Duran.
I think he's talking about Arguello.
No, it's Roberto Duran.
Roberto Duran. I love Roberto Duran. I love the way that man fought, bro. He came in, he fought all the way up to super middleweight.
Yep.
Shoot, let's see.
He fought Iran Barkley.
Yeah. Remember that? I remember that fight, man. I remember that fight. Ray Leonard. I have to say Ray Leonard was in there. I love the way Ray Leonard fought, man. He was a dog. He was let's see. Recent years, I have to say Bud Crawford is my favorite fighter. I like Bud. I'm a big fan of Bud, and shoot, I like Tyson Fury, man. I thought Tyson brought the heavyweight game back. I like Tyson, and the new man, the new dude who just beat him. What's his name? They're getting ready to rematch. Why is it slipping my head? I mean, I got punched by a 350-pound man. I'm sorry.
Well, listen.
That shit stays with you, bro.
Yeah. How about this, man? Who's your favorite all-time, hands down? Everybody's got
Johnny Tapia. Johnny Tapia.
Okay.
Vida Loca, man. I love that dude, bro. I remember when he fought. The kid, his hometown kid. When they had to fight in Vegas, they couldn't fight in New Mexico. They had to fight in Vegas. I was pumped for that fight, bro.
The Battle of
Albuquerque. When he won his first title, I seen that documentary where he's an old man, he's crying, and he goes, "I'm your champion, New Mexico. I would have died in that ring for you." I believe that, bro. I was like, bro, they don't have no. To me, he was one of the best defensive boxers I've ever seen. The way he moved, I would have loved to see him clean. If he would have been clean and his life, but then again, that's what made him such a good fighter, bro. Was his crazy life, all the battles that he had, and you know what I mean, outside the ring as well as inside. I think that's what made him so good. But probably hands down, my favorite fighter, Johnny Tapia.
Oh wow, man, that's a fucking good one to have right there.
That is a good one, man. That's a real good one, and he's got a book out, man. That's pretty dope. You should check that out.
I'm gonna have to check it out, man. I've watched his documentary 100 times already. I mean, I get chills when I watch it. When they're talking about him walking towards death, like he'll run right for death. He'll run right for the fire. Man, I'm watching him, shadow boxing and crying and talking about his mom. I get that, man. I lost my dad at a very early age. My mom used to run the streets. I was raised by, a lot. I was raised by my mother, but I was with my grandparents a lot. So I get that life. I understand that. You know what I mean? And
I
get that's what made him so great.
Boom Boom Mancini too had a tough fucking life.
Boom Boom was bad. I remember when he killed the dude in the ring, and that was sad, bro. I know that took a toll on him. I was a kid when that happened. I think I was maybe like 6 or 7.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Skywalker Boxing Media, man. I met him last night with TD Sports, David. TD Sports had a live, and Skywalker Boxing Media was on there. He's got a really good channel, man. He's got about 2,000-3,000 followers. Mile High, that's a really cool guy to check out content on. Well, listen, Mile High, talk to us, man. You got a big fight coming up November 28th. Skywalker, this gentleman is going to be in the ring November the 28th. Look out for that pay-per-view. I'll be calling the fight ringside. Talk to us, Mile High. How did you end up in this at your age fighting? At 40, me and David were talking about this earlier, man. That to us, that's crazy, man. At 40 years old, to jump in the ring and fight a real fight.
I'm a year shy of 50. I'm a year shy of 50, my brother.
Oh, you're damn! I told
I'm a
David he was younger.
grandfather, man. I'm a grandfather of 6
Okay.
beautiful grandchildren.
Any concerns, man? You're fighting November the 28th, man. I mean, you're almost 50. I mean, me and David were saying, shit, man, father time. What these guys are tough for doing this.
I'm confident in my preparation, my brother. If my coach told me, don't do it, you ain't got it. And my coach is very honest, man. I come from I got it, like I said, I come from a blood and guts gym. I went and found one of the toughest gyms here in Colorado. No doubt, salute to House of Pain. Steve Mestis, one of the baddest boxing trainers here in Colorado. He's a promoter, airtight boxing. My coach don't pull no punches, bro. When I first walked in that gym, like I said, I was training myself for about 3 months. This started in about
Did we lose him,
late
David?
June.
Okay,
Late
we got
June. Late June. This started about late June. And I started training myself. You know what I mean? I've did like martial arts. I've been in gyms. So I started training myself. And then one of my friends who's a pro, he was a former pro. He sparred a lot of heavyweight pros. He came and did mitts with me. And he was like, Conrad, you're not bad, bro. He goes, but you need to clean up some of your stuff. You're coming off your back foot. You're leaning over your knee a little bit. You're not sitting down in your seat like you need to. He goes, you need to go find my brother Steve, man. And I did. You know what I mean? I went and looked for this man. I found him. And when I walked into the gym, I think he seen my work ethic. He seen how I went, bro. I don't sit down in the gym, bro. When we're training and the bell goes off, I don't cop a seat, bro. I sit there and I just don't. I don't. The whole body got to stay in motion. And I was working on the double M bag, man. I was hitting it with the jab and I was moving. And he was like, bro, you move real good for a big guy. Because that 3 months, all I was doing was footwork drills. And I like I said, I used to do jujitsu and stuff like that. That's all you do is drill, drill, drill. Drill is one of the most boringest things to do in your. It's just boring. But I watched footwork drills and I tried to mimic it, mimic it, mimic it, mimic it. And he was like, "Bro, you move very well." And then he would see me jab, and he was like, "Let me see you jab. Let me see. Show me the rammer. Show me that. Show me that jab to the body. Show me this." And he goes, "Okay." He goes, "You know how to throw a punch, bro." He goes, "You look like a." He goes, "Don't lose." What did he tell me? Don't lose that flashiness. He goes, "You look like a big old Mexican Larry Holmes." And then he mentioned one of my friends who was in here. He told one of my other friends, he goes, "You see that guy right there?" And he goes, "I bet you not many dudes can beat him in a street fight." He said, "But this ain't street fight, brother. This is boxing." And he goes, "And I need to teach him how to box." And so he was like, "Don't lose that how do you say, don't lose your style. Don't keep that. I want you to stay on your toes. I like when you jab. I like when you get on your toes and you use that jab." And he goes, "We're going to work on some stuff." So he cleaned up a lot of my stuff, man. And I haven't had no easy I got my ass kicked the first time in sparring. I got the shit beat out of me. I went for 3 rounds and he was like, "Bro, you needed that." He goes, "And you showed your game face. I couldn't tell. You know what I mean? You got mocked. I got mollywopped, bro." And he goes, "You kept your game face on. You're a dog, bro." And he goes, "We're going to bring it out of you. Come back and we're going to keep working." And I've just gotten better and better and better, bro. It Nobody, I don't care how bad you are, bro. You're not gonna walk in no boxing gym and just tool dudes, especially a heavyweight, bro. Especially if you got that look on you when you walk in and you're a little bit chucked and you got that, bro. Dudes are gonna size you up. They're going to take you out. They're going to try to tee off on you. We just know that's how men are. You have to earn your respect in there, and I've done that. You know what I mean? And my coach, told me, he tried to talk me out of it at first. He didn't want me to do it because it's not sanctioned. He was a little upset about that, and he was like, "Bro," and I was like, "I already gave my word." And he goes, "All right, screw it. We're going for it then. All right." And you know what I mean, bro? He brought Chewy in tonight, bro. I seen that big dude walk in the ring, walk in the gym, and I already knew, bro. And he had been talking to me about this dude since I first went in there. He goes, "I got to get you to spar with Chewy." And Chewy walked in. I was like, "Oh, that's Chewy right there." I go, "Your name's Chewy?" And he goes, "Yeah." And my coach wasn't even there yet. And I looked at the other dude. I go, "He's gonna want me to spar Chewy. Watch." And he goes, "I already know he is." So I got ready, bro, and he goes, "All right, let's go. We're gonna see. I want you 3 rounds. Let's do it, bro." And he got in there, and I did pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That's a big boy, bro. That's a big dude, and he can fight. He can. This is it. This is all he does. Comes forward. So, like I said, it's not hasn't been an easy road, but at 50, even at 49, bro, it's now or never. I've kept myself in good shape. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Um, I just have a fire in me, bro. I have to get this. A lot of stuff. My mom died 2 years ago, bro, and since then, I've had a lot of hatred, anger, enviness. Um, I need to get that out of me, brother. This has been more than a road
Like
to a
part of the
fight, road
process.
to war. They calling it. It's a road for me back to love, bro. I want to
Yeah.
get all this stuff out of me and just get back to that road to where I'm just at a place of love, bro. Where I'm I can let that go. Like that's not me, you know. Now, will I keep training? Yeah, I'll keep training. And if a fight comes along, there's the masters. You know, I can fight under my my promoter and my trainer's banner if I wanted to. But you know, I promised my wife one and done. You know what I mean? I looked at my wife. You know, I lost my wife lost her jefita two weeks ago, bro. And I'll be honest with you, that was the only time I really thought of pulling out. I looked at my wife and I said, "I'll stop all this right now if you want me to. I'll stop it all. I'll quit right now. I don't care about YouTube. I don't care what anyone says." And my wife looked at me and she said, "You better make all this count for something. This all better count for something. You better go out there and do what I know you can do." And that just lit the fire under me, bro. This is a very selfish sport. Let's be honest. This is a selfish sport. And when you got a family and you got kids and you got, you know, you take a lot away from them to focus in this. I train at lunch. I train on my lunch hour from 12 to 1. After work at 5 o'clock, I head right to my gym. If I'm able to, if I don't have to work, I head right to my gym and I train from 5:30 till 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm putting in the work, man. And like I said, I'm confident in the work I put in. Uh, no disrespect to my opponent, man. Boxer, I've seen he's put in work. I think he looks great. He's slimmed down. At the end of the day, we both won. Our health. What did we win? We slimmed down. We got in better shape,
Both
bro.
of you
We
guys
look
have
probably
got
won
trimmed down.
years on our life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We're both winners, man. And we're gonna get out there and go show our stuff. We're gonna see who truly prepared the right way. We're gonna get in that square in there and the truth is gonna come out, bro. We're gonna see who really prepared, who really got in there and sparred. Did you spar 40, 50 rounds in this time? Did you really get prepared, or did you just play with your friend in the backyard? Because if you did that, bro, it's gonna be a long night for you, my boy. Real long night.
So Mile High, you mentioned that boxing is a selfish sport. That's a great way to put it because it takes up so much of your time, and you dedicate so much of that time that you could be doing, for your family and whatnot. What has been the hardest part of the training for you?
You know, wait for my family, bro. That's why I looked at my wife, and you know, my wife sometimes she's like, we don't get to spend time. I come home, I go to work, I go to the gym, I come home, it's 8:30, she's putting kids to bed. You know, she'll come back because she's tired and walks up here and she walks up here and you know, we spend maybe an hour. I'm waiting for her to come up here right now. We'll spend maybe an hour and then she goes to bed, hour and a half. And I see my wife maybe 2 hours out of the whole day. Um, that's been the hardest part. But I told her, I made her a promise all the time I'm away from you. I promise you, I'm working as hard as I can work, man. I keep that fire lit. Like this all, it's a sacrifice, something. There was something sacrificed for all this. So I'm not going to be sitting on, I'm not taking the easy road. I'm not cutting corners. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm really living boxing. I'm really doing the stuff that, you know, I'm in a real gym with real pros, with real fighters, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. To answer your question, risky business, we really can't let that out. We can't let those details out. They were asking, about the pay. What's the pay? Is it a split? We don't know that. We're not going to mention that. That's the promoter. Mikey knows that. You may want to leave him a DM, but we don't know anything about that. To be honest with you, Mile High Hustle, it looks like it
I'll,
means
I'll,
way more than
I'll
money
touch on
to
that a
him.
little bit because it's been
Yeah.
mentioned. I'll touch on it just a little bit. The winner will get a majority of the purse. I'll say it like that. And the winner by knockout, if the winner gets a knockout, there is even an incentive for that. So just to be said, the person
Okay.
who loses is going to walk away with the smaller piece of the pie. And if the loser gets knocked out, he's going to walk with a little bit lower than that. So
Yeah.
um, there's definitely some incentives. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen there, Hustle. we all seen you training, and I've seen you hit the bag. It looks like you're working in your on your inner fighting skills a lot. Is that the only thing you're working on, fighting inside? Are you prepared to fight outside? Use footwork on the guy? Are you expecting something from him just coming forward, or are you just prepared for anything and everything?
Um, I'm an outside fighter, brother. I believe I have a tremendous jab. And even my coach, he's like, dude, you have a jab. I can't teach nobody to jab like that. And he was like, where you got that jab? I don't know. God gifted you with that. He goes, I can't teach. So I don't have a jab. My coach looked at me and said, I don't have a jab like that. Use it. And so, but to answer your question, um, I got to be prepared to fight everywhere. I'm very comfortable on the outside. I will control the fight if he lets me sit on the outside. I think he's going to have no choice but to be the bull and try to rush me. Henceforth, that's why I'm sparring with 350 pounders who are trying to put me in the corner, put me against the ropes to feel what a bigger man feels like and landing blows on me, man. Um, you know, yeah. So I'll fight where I want to fight, and if I end up on the inside, I'm preparing to be very comfortable if I end up there.
Okay, David, go ahead.
Yeah, man. When you say that jab, you got a jab. You said it all when you said they told you look like a Mexican Larry Holmes. That's the best description I can imagine right there, man.
Well, Larry Holmes just defeated Usyk on the simulation here, David. Just to give you an update.
Larry Holmes is another underrated.
Before you got on Mile High, I just got that Undisputed game on PS5. You know where
Yes, yes, everyone's talking about it.
We simulated Larry Holmes and Usyk, and Larry Holmes beat him 78-72 in an 8-rounder.
Larry back in the day, bro, was one of the best, bro. Larry back in the day, even in his older years, bro, he fought someone. He even fought in Tyson's era against Holyfield. Tyson, I mean, past his prime, and the only reason he was able to do that, the only reason he was able to fight those guys is because of that amazing jab, bro. He had an amazing jab, man. I think when I seen him fight Witherspoon, was it Witherspoon? When he fought Witherspoon? Was it Witherspoon?
Yeah, he fought Witherspoon.
Yeah, that was a good fight. Those dudes were getting
it. Went the distance, but the jab won him that one. Yeah, that guy fought everybody, man. He fought Trevor Berbick before Tyson.
Yeah.
He had a nice little run after he fought Tyson. People think Tyson fought an old Larry Holmes, washed up version of him, but he still went on a good little run after that knockout.
Yeah.
In the late 80s.
Because of that jab, and that jab is what extended his career. You know what I mean? I believe that jab allowed him to fight past his prime.
The Eastern Assassin, right? The Eastern Assassin, Larry Holmes.
Eastern Assassin, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Boy, man.
Well, any last words? Any words to Boxer, man, for November the 28th?
I'm looking forward to sharing the ring with you, brother. Bring your best game. Tony was kind of bad mouthing us on the last live. Tony was originally the one who was supposed to fight Boxer. He called him out.
Yeah, he beat EBK,
and then he backed out. And then I got the call, and without a doubt, I said yes. I said yes before even discussing it with my wife. My wife was super upset, but I needed that fire lit to get me off the couch, bro. My health was in a bad way. I was weighing 273 pounds. My wife even told me you had a belly, and it got me off the couch, man. And it got the fire lit. And I don't understand. Tony was like, you need 9 months to get ready. Why wouldn't you want to fight the best version of that man? To me, I want the best version of Boxer I can get. Now, if I beat him, do his people say he was 55 and you fought it? They're going to say that. It's okay, bro. I'm 49. I'm no spring chicken myself. We're going to see two old men get in there and really, try to do some, I'm coming with the real boxing game, though, bro. I haven't seen the only two guys I've seen fight, bro, that really looked good was Cholo Trucker and Buzz. Cholo Trucker really looked you could tell he has some. Now, we didn't know this about Cholo until after the fight. This dude does Spartan races. He does running up the stairs. This guy does all these things to keep himself young. So I think I actually have Buzz winning with the youth because I was making my judgment off the Cholo Trucker I seen who fought Gunner. And that was more like a light sparring. It wasn't a real fight. They had headgear, and for headgear, they weren't throwing hard punches. I think Cholo had a broken rib. So I think I judged him off of that, but I seen he's a dog, bro.
He's a
So
dog.
I'm looking forward to this being a better fight. I hope Boxer brings his A game. The only thing that concerns me is Boxer says he'd rather it end in 2 rounds. That kind of tells me something, bro. And maybe he's just throwing bones out there, but I don't care, bro. I've trained my hardest. My cardio's on point. We know we're up here at 5,280 feet. The Olympic Boxing Training Center is up here in Colorado for that reason. The air's very thin, man, and I'm running at Mother Cabrini. It's 8,000 feet. I'm on the treadmill doing sprints on the advanced, bro, doing incline sprints with 60% incline with a 15 to 16% resistance for 8 rounds.
Oh,
So
Shit.
I told you,
I'm,
David, he's taking it serious. This guy's
Shit, he's
taking
like,
it
yeah,
serious.
bro.
it's like a Rocky montage,
I'm
man.
hurting
Yeah,
right now.
man.
I'm hurting right now from the big boy, so I'm gonna go soak in my hot tub for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna jump
Yeah.
out and I'm gonna go hit that ice bath right now just
It's
to get the
32-degree
inflammation
weather,
down and
man.
be
This
ready
guy's
for
taking
tomorrow.
it crazy, crazy serious. I never seen anybody take it this serious in content creator series history, man. He is taking it like dead serious. David, listen, man, watch. Hustle, tell us about the gym and the pros that you fucking fight with there and how good that gym is, man.
One of my sparring partners in the last event, he knocked his opponent out in 42 seconds. And I've got multiple rounds with this young man. He's a cruiserweight, up and comer, my brother X. Xavier DeLuca, look out for this young man. He's going to drop down to 160. Oh man, he's going to be a terror at 160. Um, we got Chewy, man. Chewy 4-0 with 4 knockouts, bro. You just I sent you a picture of him. You see that picture of that
Yeah,
big old
yeah,
man?
yeah. I
That's
saw
a
that.
big
That
Mexican.
was a
Hey,
big
bro, these
guy.
Mexicans big out. 350, bro. He's 6'1", 350 pounds. My 17-year-old sparring partner, my young man, he took a defeat yesterday. Salute to my brother Gabriel. Um, it's part of it, man. He looked at me after the fight and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't want to disappoint you." And I said, "You didn't disappoint me, bro. It's win, lose, or draw. You got in that ring. You're the 1% that got in that ring. That is no little dude, bro. That's my brother Chewy right there. He gave me some good work today."
He looks like a stocky dude, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He
Oh
looks
no, he's
strong,
350,
bro.
6'1", 350, bro. And we were
That
sparring.
guy can
He had
easily
18.
bench.
He had 18 ounces on, bro, and I felt every one of those punches, bro.
That guy right
Um,
there can bench 3 plates, man, for sure.
yeah. So, easy. Oh, I think he plays around with 4 or 5 easy. So I'm taking, like I said, brother, I went to other gyms. We went to House of Pain East, where all the Africano brothers, and my coach put me in with some speedy dudes, bro. I fought a 160 pounder. Oh, kid had a jab like lightning. I mean, when he hit me with that jab, I was like, "What the hell did you hit me with, man?" And he started laughing, and then my coach was like, "Feint him," and I was like, "That little fucker knows I can't hit him. What's a feint gonna do? Ain't feinting gonna do shit. Like he knows I can't hit him. He ain't gonna bite on no feint." So I've got, hey, bro, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I went into all these gyms, I kicked all these dudes' asses. Hey, brother, I've gotten my ass beat in this thing. So, but that's how you get better.
That's
That's
how
how
you
you
get
get better.
better
That's how you test yourself. That's how you get. Cardio is very important. But I've seen dudes with great cardio get in that ring and gas
and
instantly
lose it.
because they do not know how to stay calm. Their heart rate shoots up. They get nervous. They start hyperventilating. That's a big deal, bro. And I don't know what the ring feels like over there where we're going to fight. I don't. I know we fight in a very cushioned ring, and you know the cushioned ring, we fight in a small, I think it's
It gets you
18 or
tired.
if I want to say 18. We fight in an 18, and it's got a deep cushion in it. So when it's not for movers, it's
Yeah.
not for runners, bro. We're going to fight. You know what I mean? So that ring just right there tires you out. So if it's I seen the ring we went to the fights last night, and we was in Greeley all night for the amateurs. Our girls won 2 titles, and the boys, both our boys took last